Hi children, welcome back to our biology class. I hope all of you studied the previous topics that I taught you. Today we are going to learn about the waste management and sustainable agriculture. Okay, let's start our class. The high investment required for agriculture makes it uneconomic. The high cost of seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides makes the farmer a debtor. The decline in the fertility of soil and the increase of pests compel peasants to use fertilizers and pesticides in greater quantities. But though the excessive use of fertilizers and chemical pesticides provide profit for a short period, gradually the land becomes barren. It is in these circumstances that the concept of sustainable agriculture becomes relevant. Here, the method adopted is to reduce the use of fertilizers and pesticides and to make one's decaying matter a manure for another. Diverse crops are seen in the fields adopting this method. No waste remains. By giving importance to the cultivation of food crops, market dependency and price hike can be reduced. Conservation of biodiversity also becomes possible by cultivating native varieties of crops. Children, let's look waste management and sustainable agriculture. One of the main problems faced by modern society is the disposal of organic waste. Let's discuss the sustainable agriculture be an answer for this. The first one is composting. Anything which decomposes and mix with soil can be used to make compost. Organic wastes such as cattle dung, vegetable, excreta of fowl, coil, etc. are used in decomposting. Second one is the biogas production. Biogas is the mixture of gases produced by the breakdown of organic matter in the absence of oxygen. Biogas can be produced from raw materials such as agricultural waste, food waste, cow dung, plant material, etc. Next one is the fodder production. The straw obtained from paddy cultivation, the bran obtained from husking paddy, grains, etc. can be given to cattle as fodder. Next one is poultry fodder production. The waste of harvest like useless grains, bran and husk are used as poultry fodder. Next is the production of fish feed. The advantage of placing the duck coop above the fish pond, moreover the droppings of ducks will promote the growth of the aquatic plants. The aquatic plants are food for fish. At the same time, insects, algae, snail and small frogs will become the food for the ducks. High yield seed varieties were widely popularized as part of the efforts to increase agricultural production to meet the demands of the increasing population. This was accompanied by wide use of fertilizers and pesticides. The seeds and fertilizers are brought from outside to the agricultural field. This method may be called HEIA, High External Input Agriculture. However, this method was criticized for its heavy expense and its adverse effect on health and environment. Gradually, LEISA, Low External Input Sustainable Agriculture, began to receive wide recognition. LEISA emphasizes the perspective that only agriculture with minimum use of external materials can be sustainable. This method allows the use of fertilizers and pesticides in limited quantity under emergency situations. LEISA further developed into NEISA, No External Input Sustainable Agriculture, wherein one's waste becomes the manure for another and therefore sustainable and not depend on anything from outside. This is NEISA.
In HEIA, here seeds and fertilizers are brought from outside to the agricultural field. In LEISA, here the fertilizers and pesticides used in limited quantity under emergency situation. In NEISA, they were not dependent on anything from outside.
Dear children, today we studied about waste management and sustainable agriculture. I hope all of you understood today's topic very well. See you in the next class. Thank you.